Chiefs at the Eagles is a very, very interesting game to start things off here on Sunday with as well. We have you're hearing it right, 1-2 Chiefs going to Philadelphia to play the Eagles this week. As we sit, it is a 7-point across the line right now in favor of the Chiefs. Eagles at home as 7-point underdogs. 54.5 is your total in this one. Steven, I see that you have a bet here. I have a bet here. Brad, let's start with you though. You didn't have a bet on this one, but you do have a team that I know, has I don't even think has really underperformed all that much outside of just turning the ball over in the Chiefs, and an Eagles team that really last week disappointed a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm worried about the Eagles. They were kind of built on the strength of their lines, and they're gradually just getting chipped away by injuries. And I think we kind of saw that on Monday night where they just got obliterated. And, the strength of this team was meant to be their D-line, and they were running out like 4 no-names at points in that game. I do think they're not a good team. They're not the team we thought we are. Kansas City, you said they're underperforming. They haven't won a regular season game by more than 6 points since week 8 of 2020. Does that change this week? I mean, as I don't have a bet, it's tough to say, but it does feel like if they want to, and they might want to because of the start of the season, they can turn up and score 40 points. The Eagles are famously or historically bad against the tight end. You've got the best tight end in the league. They're not particularly good at corner. You've got one of the elite weapons in Tyreek Hill. So it does feel like the Chiefs can score what they want, but they haven't blown anyone out for quite a long time.
I have the Chiefs at 5.5. Now this thing opened 5.5. It was one of those things where I went in and played it at 5.5 on the thought that if the Eagles got thumped on Monday night, that this thing was going to go to a touchdown. Fortunately, I was right. This thing has moved all the way to a touchdown. So I have a Chiefs 5.5 in my account as we sit right now. I also have them as part of teasers as well. I do believe if you look at this, I mean, we're still talking about a Chiefs team that is absolutely phenomenal on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not worried at all about them being able to score here in this game at all. I mean, they're number 3 overall offense DVOA. They're number 3 according to Pro Football Focus. If you look at their EPA, they're really, really good as well. Success rate is really, really good. It's just been the turnovers so far, and I don't think you're going to get too many 4 turnover games. They've had fumble luck go against them as well in critical moments where they fumbled and they have not been able to recover those fumbles. So they have lost, a couple of games because of that as well. I'm not worried about this at all. And this honestly, this Eagles team coming back here, having to get this done on a short week after what they put out on the field this past week. Give me the Chiefs. I will assume that this turnover thing that they have going on is not going to continue, Steven, and that they are actually going to be able to put together at least a somewhat clean game. And I think that they win this thing pretty handily.
Yeah, the Chiefs have generally been overrated against the spread, right? They've been overvalued. They are 1-12-1 against the spread in their past 14 games, which kind of shows you that the public just gets too excited about this offense and doesn't factor in all of the situations. But with that being said, I hate the spot for the Eagles this week. You mentioned the short week. The Chiefs are pissed off. I have Chiefs -7 in the account. I have a teaser leg on them -1. I would not bet this -7.5. So just keep that in mind. But, Brad mentioned the injury specifically on the offensive line. They've lost both of their starting guards to IR, Brandon Brooks and Isaac Samalo. Their backup guard, Landon Dickerson's questionable. Both of their tackles are questionable. On defense, they lost the heart and soul of that D in Brandon Graham, their defensive end. Their 2 starting linebackers who are healthy, Eric Wilson and Alex Singleton, are 81st and 72nd out of 83 linebackers via PFF grade. So they've been awful. We saw all the mistakes that Jalen Hurts made on Monday Night Football, and they have a lot of draft capital at receiver on the outside. First round picks spent on Jalen Reagor and Devonta Smith, but through 3 weeks, they've been average at best as well. They rank outside the top 55 out of 105 wide receivers on PFF. So Matt, we talked about how encouraged we were about the Eagles after week number 1. But for me, that was contingent on staying healthy because this is not a deep roster. Yeah. Like Brad said, I agree. The strength of their team is along the lines, and those are really banged up right now. So despite the 6 turnovers the past couple of weeks, I like Kansas City to come out here and have a statement game on the road and just put up a ton of points.
I think the Eagles might figure something out over the course of the season, but they're also not doing Jalen Hurts any favors at all with this play calling and how they've run this offense so far. I think they know it, but getting that fixed in a short week, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one. Again, already in the account, already have them in teaser legs.